Hello again.
Hello again.
Hello again. I'm Candace Harris from BoardGameGeek. I'm here with Jessica and Brian from Funko Games, and we're taking a look at Godzilla. Okay, rewind. Okay. Want me to start again? Okay. Gotta love the live stream.
Yeah.
This is great. The live stream it's so seamless. It's lovely.
It can be a little bumpy here and there, but thanks. Okay, we're all set? Okay. Hi, I'm Candace Harris from BoardGameGeek. I'm here with Jessica and Brian from Funko Games, and we're taking a look at Godzilla Tokyo Clash.
Yeah.
Nice to see you both again.
Yeah.
Nice to see you as well.
Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a while. We missed you.
So who can tell us about Godzilla Tokyo Clash? I'm looking at these components down here. It looks kind of crazy.
Yeah, so I can speak to it. We basically wanted to make a game where, when you're watching a monster movie and all the monsters are downtown and they're all fighting each other and you don't really know what happens to the other people. They're probably not okay, but the movie doesn't focus on that. And the monsters are throwing things into buildings and into each other. We wanted to make a game that basically emulated that moment. And so that is Godzilla Tokyo Clash.
Basically letting monsters destroy themselves and a city at the same time.
Yes.
Sounds like fun to me.
Yeah.
So it's a card-driven game. It's 2 to 4 players. We have 4 different monsters to choose from, and they all go at it. It's not a last-minute thing. It's a point-driven. So you get trophies as you do damage to monsters, and at the end of the game, whoever has the most trophies, the most points, wins.
Cool. I think we're gonna need to do a little trial of this one. I'm very curious to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you got Mothra there.
So basically you have 4 monsters. You can choose from 4 monsters to play as. So it's either Mothra, Godzilla, King Ghidorah, or Megalon. And I personally like to play Mothra because I think she's kind of a badass. But yeah,
Mothra's cool.
Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, nice.
So it looks like you set the board up for a 4-player game there because you used all the tiles. So you can go ahead and put monsters around the board in their starting positions, which are basically around the edges of the board. We won't worry about being too exact here. That's great.
Yeah, the one thing that's cool about this game too, when you're setting it up, there's many cool things, not just one thing, but the board is modular. So every time you set it up, it has a different configuration so that it's a unique play when you play every time.
Nice.
Right. So you can see in the lower middle part of the screen, there's the tracker that tracks the game. There's that right there is the oxygen destroyer token, which will be moving right along those white circles. And in the meantime, small buildings will be placed on those squares that are between, starting in the opposite direction, starting in the lower left and moving kind of around in a circle. And whenever those pass, that triggers the end of the game.
Okay.
Yeah, so as soon as that thing passes one of the small buildings, it triggers the end of the game. So you can see in a 4-player game, the first time you destroy a small building, it'll go on that place where it says 4P in the lower left, right there. And then from then on, every time you destroy a small building, it will go into this next square until those meet each other. And then below that, above and below, we've got event cards that'll trigger something that happens in between each round.
Okay.
And I think on the other side of that, there should be a setup for how to start the game with the trains. Right. So basically the players would end up putting trains out on the tracks that are on the board, and likewise with the tanks. So they populate them. I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about being exact on the setup right now, but
maybe put some trains and tanks out.
Those events will have an effect on the monsters in between rounds. Okay. So you want to avoid those. And you'll see on the number, you briefly saw a number on the other side of that vehicle. Vehicles and buildings are destroyed in order to get energy, which is tracked on your player board. Everybody starts with 2 energy, and energy is how you pay for most of the actions in the game. So you'll want to be gaining energy so that you can attack the other monsters. Basically, they give you the strength to attack monsters.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And so each monster has its own deck. It's asymmetric, so each monster has different things that it's better at. And you'll see on the upper right, that's how much energy it costs to play that card. In the middle there with the 1 and it's got 2 feet, that means that card will allow you to move 1 space, where the one you just put down, the heat ray, that's an attack symbol. It allows you to attack with a value of 4, and you can see it says range 2, so it's also a ranged attack. Normally when you attack a monster, you have to be in the same space as it, but with a ranged weapon, you can be up to however far away it says. Momentum, if a card says, basically on your turn, or in a round, you'll go in turn order, and each one of you will play a card or discard a card to get a discard effect, because each monster has a discard effect, or you can pass. But if you play one of those cards like Crushing Grip, it has momentum on them. So after you play that card, momentum means you immediately get to take another action, or get to play another card. So that one kind of lets you chain things together.
And how many cards are in your hand? 5?
There's 5 in your hand, unless you are the King of Monsters. So the King of Monsters, there's that token that's the blue square in the middle there that says King of Monsters. Yes. At the beginning of each round, when you're drawing back up to 5 cards, whoever has that token actually draws up to 6 cards. So it's good to be the King of Monsters. And basically, if you ever attack and do damage to the monster that is the current King of Monsters, you take that King of Monsters and become the King of Monsters.
Oh, nice.
And at the end of the game, if you're holding that, it's 2 extra points.
Very cool. You got a couple comments in the chat. One from Lieber Schnitzel. I love the design of the cards and all the components. So you have some people that are digging it.
Great.
Yeah, we're really our studio is really into obviously being super thematic, but we're design freaks as well. So every game that we design is carefully crafted by a whole studio of folks.
Yeah, from the game design and concepts to all of the art, we really love to just jump into the theme.
I personally love the kind of intentional worn effect on the cards. It's very, very cool.
And I like the way the minis are colored too. They have that worn effect on them, the way they're painted. Or
they have a wash on them. Which is pretty cool. Yeah. And actually right now, I don't have one with me, but we have a kind of an additional customized multicolor Mothra. I don't have it here, but if you look at Funko Games social channels, we're doing various giveaways with the multicolor Mothra. So stay tuned. Yeah, we gave away a couple with you guys. We did. There was a contest where we gave away a handful of them.
Nice.
We have more.
Do you guys have plans to add any expansions, like maybe more monsters in the future?
Well, obviously, when it comes to this franchise, there's many, many, many monsters. So I would think that an expansion would go very well with this game, but we can't reveal at this point.
Sure.
There
has been many conversations about it.
Cool.
This is certainly a game that would benefit from expansions.
Yes,
it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Shall we try a sample turn, maybe?
Sure.
Let's do it. Do you guys? What deck do you want to play with? What monster do you want to be?
The moth. I'm all about that Mothra.
Mothra.
So go ahead and grab the top 5 cards from Mothra's deck. And then again, you'll basically be playing one card, and then the next player would play a card. But
Okay.
so let's see what we got here. So right now you're pretty far away from anybody, so you might want to find one that has movement in the middle, like that top card. Guess okay, there we go, enhancement. Although on their board, what is Mothra?
I like to just attack over and over again with Mothra.
Well, see, but Mothra's too far away right now. What Mothra
yeah, but
can
it's
do?
a range of 4, right?
I think it's too far. But you see the discard effect at the bottom. Mothra can discard any card to move 2 spaces in a straight line with momentum. So what that means is, if you discard any card you don't need, you can move up to 2 spaces in a straight line, and then because it says momentum, you immediately get to go again. So you could move near enough to use your range 4 weapon using the discard effect. So keep your sky drop, and maybe get rid of your. Oh wait, we need to make sure she has energy to pay for it though.
Yeah. There's just 2 energy, huh?
Yeah, you start with 2 energy. Let's see. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Go ahead. That far. We're gonna just throw defense out the window. Your far left card there that has defense on it. Yeah, discard that one, and move Mothra. Let's go back to the board. Or actually, we'll use that one to use her discard effect that lets her gain 1 energy. So gain 1 energy on your board to go up to the 3.
Okay.
And then it's also got momentum, so you can immediately do something else. So now let's look at those cards again. And let's get rid of the far left one again. We'll just get rid of the antenna beams. And this time, we're going to move her 2 spaces in a straight line. So let's look on the board. Let's see if we can get into a range 4 of somebody.
Yeah, and then let's attack.
Yes.
So basically, yeah, if you get, it looks like, is that Godzilla to the lower right? It looks like you could get, yeah. You could even move 1 to the right there. Now you're in range with,
let's get Godzilla.
I don't think that's, who's the upper left monster? That looks like it's.
That's King Ghidorah.
King Ghidorah. So if you move Mothra 1 space to the right, she'll be 3 spaces away from that monster in the upper, to the right.
Oh no, it's Megalon, sorry.
1 to the right. Sorry, the other right. You got to be, because you have to be in a straight line with the monster.
Oh, okay. And I think
so right there. There you go. So now let's look at your hand of cards again.
Let's use that range 4.
Yeah, where's that range 4? Okay, so we're going to do a sky drop. And it's going to attack a 4.
Oh, snap.
Very exciting.
Oh, wait, that's not arranged. Dang.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do now is, instead of where Mothra is now, move her 1 space up to the left, 1 space closer to. I can't see what that other monster is. Is that?
It's Megalon.
It's Megalon. So move her 1 space closer to Megalon. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Megalon, yeah.
So move her. Okay, there you go. Now, look at your hand again. I know. Sorry, this is really making a big turnout. But we're gonna once again. We're gonna use her disc. This isn't normally what you'd probably play a tournament. We're gonna discard the resilience, and we're gonna use it to move Mothra again 2 spaces in a straight line with momentum, and now just move her right to Megalon. Okay.
And
now because we had momentum again, now we're going to use that sky drop attack. It'll cost you all of your energy. Mothra's got 3 energy, so take that down to 0.
But it's exciting.
So worth it.
Yeah.
And now you're going to attack Ghidorah for 4. Megalon for 4 damage. And what that would mean is basically if you were Megalon, they would look at their cards and they might have some defense to get rid of some of that. But I mean, we could pretend they don't. But let's see if they do.
Oh, we're checking.
Okay, let's see. Any there you go. Okay. So we'll say he decides to play his deflect. So we did an attack of 4 on him. He can discard deflect to get rid of 3 of the damage. Now, when you cause damage to a monster, what that means is however much damage you cause, as the attacker, as Mothra, would then draw the top that many cards off of their deck. Now, in this case, we only get 1, but let's say Ghidorah had not been able to defend. We would have done 4 damage, which means we would draw the top 4 cards of his deck, and they all are used as trophy numbers. So, and we get to pick the highest trophy number. So go ahead and we would look at these. And you'll see in the lower right-hand corner, those are how many points. So we would just take that napalm shot, and we would discard that, and we'd put it in. There's a place by the by that board that has where we put all of our trophy cards. Yeah. So, and then the other 2 cards or other 3 cards would just go into Ghidorah's discard pile. Okay. So you can see on the I can't remember what that board is called. The
which one?
The damage tracker. Which, like, there's a spot on the damage tracker board where each one of them, there's for each monster has its own slot. It's a trophy slot. So put that under Mothra's trophy slot in the upper right. It looks like. There you go. And I believe that would go face down.
It would go face down. Yeah.
Anyway, so nobody knows. You know how many trophies the other players have, but you don't know what the amounts are.
Ooh.
No, that's cool. How the damage is done. And so we did a pretty good damage. And then also, if you look at that card we used, the Sky Drop, there's another effect on it that lets us, after the attack, I believe we can move the character, place the target within 2 spaces. So we could, depending on what would be advantageous to us, move that monster 2 spaces away. Now that was just kind of a direct attack, but you can throw vehicles at monsters, you can throw monsters at other monsters, you can throw monsters at buildings to gain energy.
Awesome. You're just throwing
It's just mayhem. Yeah. It's great.
It sounds like fun. Yeah, at first I thought you were only going to be taking, like, just playing 1 card, but it ended up turning into a big turn where you're like, we're going to do this, discard that.
That's what makes it, that's what I really enjoy about this game, because you have these kind of chaining moments and you get to take a look at your cards and really attack in a major way.
But that can also be dangerous because we use so many of your cards. People know that you don't really have any cards for defense left. So, or you maybe have one that has defense, so they might come after you, So you got to be careful when chaining them together.
Yeah.
Right. And then once you get through your deck, do you just reshuffle and form a new deck?
You have to pass. Yeah, you have to pass. Once everybody passes, either by choice or because they're out of cards, that ends the round, and that's when then at that point if you still have cards, you can discard however many you want and then draw back up to 5 or 6 if you're the King of Monsters.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Yeah, and then like I said, as you destroy small buildings, which we can't really see from this angle, but those would go on that tracker, and as soon as enough damage has been done to the town, it's time to call it a day. There you go.
Okay, it's time to call it a day. There's been a significant amount of damage.
The monsters go to the bar, have a drink.
Exactly. That's what I'm imagining.
So do you kind of attack the buildings the same way as you attack the other monsters?
They all have different ways. You don't directly attack buildings. You throw stuff into them, or if you throw a monster. So let's say I throw a monster. I can throw a monster at another monster, and anything in each of the spaces that travels through, I can destroy a building and one building or vehicle that's on that spot. And that will gain you energy. So that's a way to do damage to a monster and get energy at the same time.
Gotcha.
It's a 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
And how long does the game typically take to play, time-wise?
I think it's probably
45
minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. It's another one where
depends on how many players, but
And once you get more adept at it, you can play it pretty quick.
Yeah.
That's pretty great. And is Godzilla Tokyo Clash currently available, or is this a pre-release kind of thing?
So this is available. It's available right now at Target, and then next week it will be available at other retailers as well.
Awesome. We have a couple more minutes. Do you guys have anything you want to add about Godzilla or anything else? I know we have more Funko games coming up, but if you had anything else you wanted to add,
we have, well, you know, up next, I know, I believe Adam is coming up with Pan Am, which is pretty exciting. So we won't talk about that. You guys can check that out. And then after is Chris with Game of Thrones Funkoverse, which is pretty exciting. I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's a whole new way of playing Funkoverse with Game of Thrones, and we're excited to share that. I don't know, anything with this. They're really great games.
seems like a ton of fun, and I mean that's what most people are looking for in games. I think all of the minis and the artwork looks fantastic, and it seems like it'll just create a really good experience.
Yeah, and you know, we have a lot of games. We're obviously showcasing these 4 today on the live stream, but in the summer release list that you guys did, I think we have 19 games in there. So there's a lot of games coming from Funko Games. So all sorts of games.
We keep pretty busy.
Yeah, strategy, party, family, all the games. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Jessica and Brian from Funko Games, for showing us Godzilla Tokyo Clash.